Once again, I'm delighted to say Bath City manager Jerry Gill is joining us on the line this afternoon. Jerry, good afternoon.
Hi Owen, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you doing?
Cold.
Good afternoon. Just to say, you're actually out watching a match this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm taking in the National League North game today just to see what the level's like, the standard. I know a few players playing in the game. I'm at Gloucester watching Gloucester versus Chorley. So
excellent.
There were no other games. I was potentially going to go and watch Bristol Rovers, watch that one being a local game, but obviously that one went off.
Absolutely.
And good opportunity to go out and watch some more football. There's no way I was going to stay at home, that's for sure. So we trained last night. We've had a normal sort of week. I have to say the credit must go to my players and staff, because to keep the enthusiasm and the energy they have this week with everything that's going on has been nothing short than brilliant. And as I said, we trained Wednesday night and we trained Friday a little bit different. We're trying to be a bit creative, as I said, with some of the sessions. And here we are Saturday again with no football, unfortunately.
I mean, let's get on to that straight away, I guess, because I've been watching and reading the things this week, sort of with a mixture of sort of disbelief, but of incredulity, really, about what's been going on. But as you say, here we are. Well, Saturday afternoon, you're not playing football again, and just in terms of you and the players and the squad, just outline the position a bit for us at the moment. We very much as you were, really, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. There's no real clarity. I mean, the National League at last made some sort of statement, if you put it like that, from yesterday. But that was almost because the pressure had come on from a lot of clubs. I think everyone's read now that we've been sent the potential to be fined, points deduction, even expulsion from the league, which is just amazing, really, to think that we're not playing because we can't afford to play, yet they're threatening us with fines, which is just astonishing. So yeah, as a lot of clubs have already done, they've put it out there as well on social media to gather some pace and some momentum. And as it stands, are we any closer to any decision or any major statement? I'm unsure. I think we've got till the 28th of February, and I think it'll run its course through to then. And the frustration is the league's still running. Like I say, I'm here at a National League North game, with the game still going on. Not many games in their league going on for sure, and only a handful in ours. So, yeah, very, very, very frustrating.
I mean, just to talk through the timeline. Obviously, we've talked about it before. The league was initially suspended for 2 weeks. A lot of clubs, not all of the clubs, but a lot of them said, look, we can't carry on the season in the current situation we are, because obviously there's a serious financial implications, etc. I mean, I know Bath City, wrote to the league and obviously put out a message to their supporters outlining the reasons why you felt your fixtures should be postponed and couldn't continue. And then we had this letter which seemed to drop in the week, indicating that clubs, were being charged under league rules for failure to play their fixtures.
Yeah, no, and that's the bit I find astonishing, really. I mean, listen, we're member clubs and it's our league, and you'd like to think they'd look at it in a sensible sort of way and say, look, clubs aren't. I said to you, and I put a message out again last week, I think it was, every manager, every player wants to play football today. Everyone at 3:00. We want to do it, and everyone at a football club wants to do it. But if you can't physically afford to do it, you can't afford to pay your players. We're not going to put ourselves in a situation like any other clubs up and down the country where we're going to be running into debt. As I said, we only lost 20,000 last year, and when I first came in 3 years ago, we were at a loss of over 100k. And we can't, as a football club, put ourselves back in that situation again, with lots of really good things that have gone on over the last 3 years, on and off the pitch, which I keep repeating. And we're not going to let a unfortunate pandemic, affect us financially as a football club. We can't. And like I said, we all want to play football, but at this present moment in time, we don't feel as if it's right to. And hopefully with the stance that now I think is gaining more momentum. I've seen Hampton now are in the same situation. Maidstone also sent out a similar statement yesterday. So I think we're looking well over the 20 clubs now. I think you're going into something like 24 clubs in a majority, but we still don't know how the vote's going to come out. And even when the vote comes out, Owen, we still don't know what the situation's going to be. If we're told to play until we get a grant or some money given to us, we still can't play. So, some chairmen are talking of mini leagues between the two, which is just ridiculous. You can't, mid-season, you can't suddenly reinvent leagues. People with the potential to get promoted. And it's the teams in the top 4 or 5 that are screaming from the rooftops and saying, we have to finish. So it's a real messy situation. Like I said, there's still no clarity. All we're doing as a football club, and all I'm doing is, I said to you last week, is we're going to train. We've got to the stage where we're furloughing the staff now. That means players and staff. And like I said, we train Wednesday and Friday. What next week brings, we don't really know. But we're just literally taking it day by day.
I mean, just to sort of clarify what the league said in terms of the charging clubs, they outlined it, I think, in their statement. I think as merely a mechanism at this moment in time, and what will become of that, I guess we'll wait to see. But I think I saw something from it might have been Dulwich Hamlet, I think, in the week, sort of talking about the options that were there, and basically there didn't seem to be any for any clubs at this moment in time. I mean, whatever they did, they were going to be possibly in contravention of league rules.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. I understand why it's come out. It's almost like a press a button. If a club's not fulfilled their fixture, of course there has to be some clauses in place because of that, and this naturally has come out to the clubs. But I think they weren't very sensible in how they'd done it and how it came out. The communication again was really poor, and it's now taken them after the event again to come out and put out another statement to say, look, we've only just done this because it is protocol. We have to do this. We're not saying you are going to get fined. I really don't think clubs will. I really don't think clubs will get points deducted as well. But like Dulwich put out there, all the bullet points I thought were fantastic that they put out there. We can't take a loan. You can't take a loan. It's not viable to do that, and it's against the laws, the league rules, actually to do it. So. No, the only way we can do, and I believe we have put in for a grant now. So Paul Williams, as you know, works ever so hard at the football club day in, day out there as well. And I believe as a board, we decided that we would apply for a grant. Whether we'll get one is a different story. If they come back and say we're only a loan, then we won't be accepting that. But if you don't try, you don't ask, you don't get. So we were of the thought, right, let's put it in, let's see where we go and see what comes back from that as well.
It seems as though, listening to what the league had to say at the start of the week, they definitely appear, and obviously you're not going to know this because you weren't parties to these conversations, but it definitely seems there was either a miscommunication or a lack of communication right at the start of this campaign about what was on offer to member clubs. Do you think that's a fair assumption?
I think so. Yeah, I think there was a lot of confusion around how this all started out. And how it would pan out. I just think there wasn't any clarity. No, people misunderstood it from the very outset. When we started off this league campaign, we were told that grants were going to be given, and we felt as if that was going to go right the way to the end of the season. No one said that it's going to stop around Christmas or just after Christmas, and then suddenly you have to find your own money. We all knew we were never going to get fans back in this season, and that was a reality at the time as well. So, like I said, I think you're right from the outset. If they'd said, because the DCMS are saying that they were never told, the league were never told that there was going to be a grant, but we were told, as you know, by the league that we thought there was going to be. So complete mess up, complete miscommunication, and now we're in the situation we're in. It's got even messier, and I can just see the league are panicking now. They're panicking, and they're looking for the next route for them to try and clear this mess up, which is going to be very, very difficult now at this stage, I think.
Apart from anything else, there's a pretty serious time issue here now, isn't there? I mean, in terms of, there's a window to, I guess, finish this season as they would intend to. And I mean, that's getting narrower and narrower, if not already gone, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we looked at it. I mean, 2 weeks back, we thought we could get the games in, sort of 2 games a week. But as it's happening now, we've now got to rearrange more games again, the ones that have gone off recently. So, yeah, there is. Unless they're going to extend the season, I think they're going to find it difficult to get all the games in. There's teams that have played less than us. As you know, we've only played 13. Yeah. There's teams that have played less. So, again, we can only deal and work with that once that happens. I hope it does. I truly do. I hope we do get an opportunity to play some more football. But as we stand here again on Saturday afternoon, coming up to 3:00, and we're not playing, it just seems like this is the norm now. We've played one game since Christmas in the league, and that's just farcical. Albeit we've left on a good positive one. We won the game, but we can't carry any momentum into anything at the moment because we're stopped again. You
obviously mentioned you've trained the players, and you've had the staff with you. What's the feeling? How they all do?
They're great. As I said, I can't speak highly enough of my players and staff. They come in every week and they train ever so well. I mean, Friday night, last night, they come in. Arguably, they could have turned up and said, we're in on a Friday night. We know there's no end goal for them at the moment. There's nothing for them to aim to. People train because they train to do something, to train to play. And I set training up to play on a weekend or whenever that may be. And at the moment, we're not. So we're trying to be creative. We're trying to keep them engaged. Their own attitude, their own enthusiasm is doing that as well. But of course, afterwards, when it all settles down, we did a football session, gym session last night. When it all settles down, Paul came over to explain around the furlough scheme. The reality kicks in again when the football stops on the training ground, and it's like, well, what we're doing next. And of course, there's concerns for players, because what I've got now is players out of contract end of season. We're not playing any football. Are they going to be offered a new contract? If they just train, are they going to get injured? And are they not staying at the football club? Have they got a chance then to be injured and not get an opportunity to get a contract elsewhere? So all these things come into play for players, and I totally understand that. But as I said to them last night, there's nothing I can do at the present moment, because we don't know where we are this season, let alone starting budgets for next season. So lot of uncertainty, Owen, unfortunately.
I mean, playing or not playing, I mean, you're going to have a busy job over the next couple of months anyway, aren't you? I mean, there's going to be a hell of a lot to sort out coming out at the other end of this.
Yeah, no, hence that's why I'm here today. Really, I'm trying to pitch the levels, even though we're watching National League North game. I'm trying to watch players that I know of here anyway, that are on loan from certain clubs. And busy now, just as I said, throughout the week, constantly thinking about recruitment. But in the back of my mind, thinking, well, what have we got to go back in this season if we need to start back up again? So, yeah, I could be a very, very busy man, but I want to be busy. I want to be busy, but I want to be busy playing football, not just off the field doing stuff. I want to be on the field. But unfortunately, our hands are tied with that one.
Excellent. Jerry, we'll leave you to your very cold football match this afternoon. Thank you so much for coming on to Radio Bath again and giving us the latest. That was Bath City manager Jerry Gill there, and we'll hear more from Jerry in the coming weeks, I'm sure.